Welcome to another video. Today we are going to revise about software. As you know, there is a differentiation between software and hardware. Whatever that belongs to the computer and that can be touched and seen is the hardware, and whatever that belongs to the computer and cannot be touched or seen is the software. Again, software can be classified into as system software and application software. System software is related to the system, or those are the various programs that is meant for the system, whereas application software is specially designed for the users. System software can be divided into two as utility software and operating systems. So these are the two different types of system software. You have to keep these things in your mind because in question you might get identify the type of software or which type of software is used for this. So is it system software or is it utility software or is it application software, whatever it is. Now, utility software is mainly used for configuration and maintenance task. Whatever maintenance task is needed, whatever configuration settings are needed for the system, those things comes under utility software. Whereas in operating system, controlling and managing the computer's hardware. It includes memory management, security management, processing, all those things comes under operating. See utility software in detail. There are four different kinds of utility software: backup, defragmentation, formatting, and compression. Backup is a kind of utility software which is again a type of system software. Major feature of backup is creates copy of files and it is stored in different places. Now, it is always advisable to create more than one copy of files. Now, backup can be run automatically, meaning the user can automatically set backup to happen like around once in 2 weeks or weekly or daily backup. Normally, it is set at during the night time, I mean the early morning, or it can also be manually started. Backup is usually stored in external storage devices or online. Now, what is the need for backup? Backup is always associated with data loss. Loss of files can be managed by backup, or it can be patched up with the help of backup. Using backup, you are creating a copy of files. It can be done online or offline. Offline meaning external storage devices. Now, how these files can be lost? It can be malware, it can be theft, it can be any natural disaster, or it can be before you save the charge was gone, the electricity was off, electricity was gone, so the data is not saved. So these all things can be managed with the help of backup. So backup is a utility software which is again a kind of system software. The next type of utility software is defragmentation. To study about defragmentation, you should know what is fragmentation. You save a data file. The data file is saved or stored in the hard disk as chunks of data, and each piece of data is stored in different locations. So therefore, the data is fragmented and stored. And this makes the access time more, and therefore the disk is fragmented and the disk has to be rotated, will takes more RPMs, rotations per minute, rotations per second, and it consumes more power. Therefore, we need disk defragmentation. It is usually done automatically but can also be set by the user. The main advantage is access time to the data file is very less, and therefore it speeds up the system. Now this defragmentation, it reorders this fragmented data by storing the similar data close to each other. Let's see a figure of defragmentation. See, the first cube is an example of fragmentation. Different data is stored in different places, hence accessing this data is very, very difficult. Once defragmenting data, it is easy. We know how much space is left in the hard disk. Such things are the major advantage of defragmentation. Next type of system software, which is a kind of utility software, is compression. We all have heard about compression. It reduces the original file size. Major disadvantages, it is not readable by the original application. To be read by the original application, it has to be decompressed. The major advantages, storage space is saved. You can compress the data and send it. These two are the major advantages. How the data files are compressed. The repeated patterns of data is stored as number of repetitions. For example, there is 5 times A is found, then it's instead of simply replicating A, it just writes 5A. In that way, space is saved. This is another type of utility software, which is again a type of system software. Let's move on to the last type of utility software, which is formatting. We format the hard disk, we format the phones. So formatting means deleting all data or making the data unreadable by normal applications. Okay, so if it is a used disk, makes the data unreadable by normal applications, and if it is a new one, it makes the ready for the first use. So we cannot say that the data cannot be cannot be read again. No, it can be, but not with the normal applications. So once the disk is formatted, not applications cannot read the data that's deleted. Apart from this, there are two other different types of system software. It's not just two, there are many. Okay, so two among those are encryption and antivirus. You should keep in mind all those things that belongs to the system or belongs to the functioning of the system is a type of system software, and that includes encryption, antivirus also. Now let's move on to the past paper questions. Which one of this is the type of software Howard you should use to make copies of his applications? So making copies, replica, meaning backup, and backup is not found in the options. Backup is a type of utility software. Draw one straight line from each example of utility software to the correct purpose. Compression reduces the file size. Compression reduces the file size. Backup creates copies of files. Anti-malware protect from virus. State the type of utility software that prevents data from being understood without using a key. So the data should not be understandable, and it needs a key. So, analyzing these two terms, we get encryption is the kind of utility software. Now, describe how utility software can reduce access times for large files stored on magnetic media. So, we go through utility software, it has got backup, formatting, compression, defragmentation. So, which has got the relation with media, access time, magnetic media, large files, that is basically defragmentation. How it can reduce access time, how the utility software can reduce the access time, meaning making the system faster. So defragmenting the file, it free up the space, it places the data in adjacent sectors, or the how many times the disk needs to spin. It reduces the times of this spin. In these three ways, the access time is reduced or it is accessed faster. Creating a backup protocol, amount of data, number of times it should be backed up, that is the frequency of backup, and what type of media is supposed to be used. And these are the three factors that should be considered when you decide to back up your data. And therefore, C is the right option. Each laptop has a pre-installed operating system. Operating system is a type of system software. Name the other type of software that should be installed. Operating system, type of system software. Name the other type of software that should be installed. It can be antivirus, it can be encryption, it can be utility software. So from among this, you can write any one software. Why optical media is not a good choice to back up your files? This is a question. This is a previous year question. Why optical media? Optical media meaning CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc. Those are the optical media. Why it is not a good choice? Because they deteriorate over time and are fragile. As time passes, the thin film that carries, that stores data, that is deteriorated. Okay, so and therefore you will not be able to access your files. Hence, it is not a good idea to store your or to back up important files on optical media. That's it about utility software.